Welcome back to Detective Grimoire. We are on Chapter 3, Richard Remington's Real Reasons. So, he was actually the hunter
The
in
open
the
window.
story.
Oh.
So that they put this tourist attraction, and he bought the land to stop people from hunting him, but he was the one who was hunting him. He just wanted to do it more secretly, I guess. It's saying go back in here, but what is... Yeah. Okay.
Something happened here. There are signs of a struggle between the desk and the window. Photos and paintings line the wall above the fireplace, but one of the frames is empty. Wait a second. What are these pieces on the floor underneath it? This photograph. And some other men I don't... Maybe I can ask...
Yeah, I will ask Harper.
This is the creepiest office I've ever been in. Ever.
No, I don't want to do that. Go to the map instead. Where's Harper? Harper's at the cafe. Let's ask him about this.
That's Mr. Remington's old hunting rifle. He usually keeps it around. For whatever reason. He was very fond of that thing. Looks like it was fired recently.
Missing page.
I can't help you with that one. Sorry.
Headpiece?
Why don't you show that to someone else?
What about this?
You don't know everything, I'm afraid.
What about this photo?
One of Mr. Remington's secrets. I never wanted to know the details, but these men travel the world, seeking mysterious animals to hunt. They consider myths and legends to be the ultimate prey.
Yes.
It's Mr. Remington's fireplace poker. This slime on the handle. It's familiar for some reason.
Curtain.
That's the same fabric from Mr. Remington's curtains.
Buggy.
I can't help you with that one. Sorry.
Anything else? Nope. This.
You said you knew Remington?
He and I knew each other for a long time. I came to work at his tourist attraction in the early days, when he needed help.
Well, what kept you here?
I know most people wouldn't want to work in a place like this. I actually like it here, so I was happy to oblige.
You might like it, but I still don't see why anyone would build a tourist attraction here.
Mr. Remington has his reasons. He probably had several. I don't presume to know what they all were. Even though we were friends, he had some secrets, some hobbies, that I was happy to let him keep secret.
Secrets? Hobbies? A secret hobby?
He was a man with a dream, I can tell you that much.
I asked him about this. Sally.
I don't know very much about them.
I feel like I've done talking to him. Okay. We still don't have this, which I think is the little girl, probably. Go to... Let's go talk to... What's his face? Bill?
Oh?
I found these designs for a costume. A boggy costume.
Aha, the legendary swamp creature.
Yeah, that's the one.
But these are just a child's drawings, are they not?
You think?
Perhaps. It's difficult to tell.
What do we know about Richard?
You saw Remington last night, but had you met him before? Did you know him?
I've never really spoken with him, but we've come into contact a few times. Vincent likes to handle that kind of work, and I like to let him.
What do you think of this place? The tourist attraction, I mean.
I can't say I like the idea of a natural area like this becoming commercialized.
I know! I just can't understand why anyone would even try.
I think Mr. Remington had his reasons. He looked like a man with a couple of secrets.
Like what?
I have no idea. If I knew, they wouldn't be secrets.
True, true, true. I didn't ask him about anything.
Try showing it to somebody different. I really don't have an opinion. My apologies.
What about this?
You should ask someone
What
else.
about that?
A prolific cameraman with exceptional skills at carrying heavy equipment.
The famous director, and my friend.
Who's selling?
Try showing it to somebody different.
What about Harper?
I really don't have an opinion. My apologies.
What about that? What about this police officer?
Mm-hmm. That's great.
What about this?
I'm sorry I have not seen that before.
Haven't seen the map?
Yes, that's my photograph, taken near the woods at the north end of Boggy's Bog. Have you tried looking there?
I don't know.
Vincent's work, I see. I'm glad he knows how to use the camera at least.
What do you think all those noises are?
Well, judging by the time this was recorded, I'd be able to make a pretty good guess. What is it? Some evidence from last night's murder? Mm-hmm. That's great.
What about this?
I'm sorry I have not seen that before. What is it? Some evidence from last night's murder? Mm-hmm. That's great. I'm sorry I have not seen that before. That's the food I saw Mr. Remington eating at the cafe last night.
Before he got ill and rushed back to his office?
That's right.
This is going down in my notebook. It might be important.
Curtain?
What is it? Some evidence from last night's murder?
What about this rifle?
Mm-hmm. That's great.
What about this fork?
I'm sorry I have not seen that before.
What about this photo?
What is it? Some evidence from last night's murder?
There's some crime scene I haven't found yet.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
What about this?
I'm sorry I...
What about this one? Here with this one? Nope.
What is it?
Let's go back to the crime scene. Look around.
I don't... There and back down into those reeds by the water. There are... and back... The strange... Maybe I...
There's nothing here anymore.
I don't...
I didn't speak to this guy. Show him anything. I should go back and talk to Vincent, I guess.
What can you tell me about these designs for a boggy costume?
Nothing whatsoever.
You're sure you didn't see anything like this while you were filming yesterday? Wait, hold on a minute. What if
Don't you dare ask.
This costume isn't your doing, is it? Made for your movie, I mean?
My friend, there will be no costumed idiots within the viewfinder of my camera. I can assure you that.
What about your boggy movie? Isn't that gonna be, like, a guy in a costume, or a puppet, or one of those weird robot things?
Technology has been kind to people like me. We no longer have any need for such tomfoolery. I can create a perfectly believable swamp creature within the confines of a computer. Much cheaper, too.
Huh.
Richard.
I suppose you've met with our murder victim, Richard Remington.
Yes, I've been in and out of this place for a while now. Naturally, I've crossed paths with Remington a number of times. Good value, that one. A real raconteur, you know.
You liked him? So far, I'm getting the impression he wasn't the most popular guy around here.
Well, that much is clear, isn't it? The man obviously slipped up somewhere, made an enemy or two, and bam, that's that. You just can't be too careful, can you?
Yeah, I think he did have an enemy or two. Or three. But you liked him.
I respected him. Good head on his shoulders. Good business sense, that man. He understood how to make things work for him.
Okay.
I'm a busy man, and this doesn't look...
I'm working your time. What about you?
The world's premier director. The king of wit and whimsy. You met him? You're a lucky man. I simply... He's been working with me for a number of years. A real expert, of course.
No, this is.
You want me to sign a photograph for you? I'm a busy man, and... Now there's a man who could handle himself.
I'm not so sure.
Well, apart from yesterday. That was just a one-off, wasn't it?
For him, I think so, yes.
Ah, yes. The reason we're all here, of course.
Not me.
If you want to...
Now I can go. I talk to him. Hello.
Ah! Try and solve every suspect's challenge topic.
For Charlotte.
Don't forget to present profiles and clues to people who might be interested. Oh, and... It's...
Oh, I can't present him stuff. I thought I could. Protest? What's this? Oh. I never seen this man.
You've arrived at a bad time, my friend. For once, they don't actually want tourists walking around this place.
I always arrive at a bad time. It's what I do. I'm a detective, not a tourist.
My apologies. It's just, you have the same wide-eyed expression as the kids that come here. Running around, spending their parents' money, you know.
Well, it's not every day I visit a swamp full of such unique specimens.
It's no problem. You're just thinking what we all thought when we arrived for the first time.
Why didn't they put in a bathroom?
No, you're thinking, this place is beautiful. What a lucky man I am to be here.
I am I? Well, if you say so.
Edward Everstone, at your service.
That's a pretty cool name. Can I call you Ed?
You don't need to. Everyone just calls me Echo.
Why? Because it gives you an elevated sense of purpose because you're such a good swimmer. Because you'd bounce if I threw at you at the wall?
Why? Because you'd bounce if I threw you against a wall?
What? No. Because I always come back. Again and again, until my job is done.
Good job.
You're protesting, right?
I certainly am. And now that you're here, I'm getting you involved.
What does that mean? Yeah, I haven't got time to hold up signs for you. I'm sorry.
You simply have to hear my message and take it with you.
Go ahead. I'm all ears. Plus, I have a little notebook.
What was the first thing you felt when you saw the sign for Boggy's Bog looming over you?
Well, I thought it was...
Not thought. Felt.
I felt... Well, something seemed wrong. There wouldn't be a tourist attraction in the middle of a swamp like this. There shouldn't be.
My job is done. Clearly your brain is working perfectly, Detective.
So you're against the tourist attraction? Yeah, let's see. You'd rather this area was kept as a natural habitat, right?
Right again. And that precise word, habitat. First and foremost, I'm protesting for animal rights.
Well, okay, I'm following you, but it's not like they're cutting down trees or anything like that, right?
All animals deserve the right to live in peace, and I promise you, on a normal day, this place is far from peaceful.
Are you talking about the swamp creature? About Boggy?
A creature like that. He's earned the right to be left alone. We're fools to invite ourselves into his home like this on a daily basis, assuming he's not going to mind. Assuming he'll keep to himself and let us walk around with his face on our t-shirts.
Well, I agree. I think he should be left alone. But like you said, he can probably handle himself. And if no one has even seen him in 60 years, I don't really see the problem.
Unlike you, Detective, I never had an academic calling in life. I was never even a talented artist or musician or anything. So instead, I made the decision to stand up for those who were getting a raw deal.
Where were you last night?
You come here every day.
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm only going to ask you about one of those days. What were you doing yesterday evening?
I was here at my protest spot until fairly late. Then I went to get something to eat at Harper's Cafe before I...
Wait, you ate at the cafe here? Doesn't supporting a tourist attraction like that kind of go against your protest?
A man has to eat, doesn't he? I don't think the meager contributions of one person are going to keep this place afloat. especially now.
And you're sleeping here? Doesn't it get cold at night?
Well, I came prepared, of course. I usually find myself with 1 or 2 extra layers to wear. Most of this bulk is padding, I promise you.
I'm sure it is. So you stayed here the whole night?
That's right. And I admit I may have heard some stranger than usual sounds floating around the swamp last night.
What kind of sounds?
It's impossible to say. This place fills with the most terrifying sounds at night. Hundreds of animals, some tiny, some much larger, awaken and make their own protests. Every night until the sun rises in the morning.
Insects make noises at night. Okay, I've written it down.
What do you think about this costume?
What can you tell me about these designs for a costume? A boggy
It's
costume.
Boggy! I must admit, I've been a fan of his before I ever came to the swamp.
A fan? So you're interested in cryptozoology?
Oh, no, I meant, well, Boggy has been in all kinds of cartoons and comic strips. He's one of the greatest characters of the last 100 years. I've got some comics in my tent. You really should see.
But he was only discovered 60 years ago.
Oh, that's true. Well, I bound it up.
But what about his costume? Have you seen anyone wearing it?
I can honestly say I've never seen anyone wearing anything like that. And I'm a very observant person.
What do you think about Richard?
So what did Mr. Remington think of you? I mean, protesting in the middle of a swamp every day.
It wasn't his swamp. If he ever truly thought it was, then he was even more of a fool than he seemed.
But he didn't like you hanging around, right?
That man was exceptionally skilled at ignoring me, ignoring anything he didn't like.
So, what, he just left you alone?
He expected me to get bored and go home. He figured I'd get sick of this place and he'd have it back to himself.
But he didn't want it to himself, did he? He wanted lots of people to come visit all the time, surely.
I'm sure it says that in the brochure. Yes.
Present some profiles.
You're wasting your time with
I
that.
don't know who that is.
A man who has sacrificed luxuries to protect those who need protecting. Pretty good beard, too.
What do you think of Harper?
He seems like a good person. He even sympathizes with my cause.
He agrees with your protest? But he works here, right? And he was friends with Remington.
I think that was the only reason he worked here. Maybe he'll see the light now and leave the swamp behind him. Maybe everyone will.
What do you think about Vincent?
I have nothing to say about them.
Nothing to say about him. What about Girl?
You're asking the wrong person.
What do you think about Lady?
You're wasting your
Yes,
time
or
with...
son. Folder.
Ah, yes, Agent Folder. A good man.
You know him?
We get on rather well. And we shared a number of views on the way things will run around here.
Okay. What about Buggy?
Boggy is my prime suspect, you know. The creature you're trying to protect.
Protect is the wrong word. If your suspicions were correct, we could both agree he's a creature that doesn't need protecting.
You think he might be the murderer?
I think he's a wild animal, and he wants to be left alone at any cost.
Mr. Remington.
The murder victim.
Since last night, yeah. But he was the owner of Boggy's Bog. Did you know him?
Not personally. To be honest, I'm quite glad about it.
I have a bunch of clues. Would you like to see those?
No thanks, my
Says
friend.
No, thank you.
I'm afraid I
What
have...
about the map? What about this?
Show it to somebody else.
What about this?
No.
What about this fork?
Why are you carrying that around with you?
I...
Really? I thought Remington was attacked by something with claws, wasn't he?
What?
You're not a bad detective.
Well, I found the photo in Remington's office. It was ripped up, though. I think he was some kind
He
of...
was a lot of things. Don't lose that picture. And show it to Mr. Harper before you leave.
Okay.
This is the journal, correct? The one that man left here 60 years ago?
You seem a little unsure of the details. Shouldn't you have read up on all this stuff?
Forgive me. It's hard for me to get the image of Boggy as the lovable cartoon character out of my mind. He's just so iconic. Did you know, in 1973, he...
But you're protesting to protect the real swamp creature. The cartoon character is just some commercial byproduct, right?
Yes, of course.
Oh, one thing. This. Question.
Show it to somebody else.
What about this?
No thanks, my friend.
What about this?
I'm afraid I haven't.
Gloves.
Show it to...
Leggings.
No thanks, my friend.
Flippers.
I'm afraid I have...
Okay. Museum Woods. I guess I'll go to the gift shop and talk to Sally. Did he with Richard?
So what can you tell me about your relationship with Richard Remington?
I didn't have one. I think I spoke to him twice, ever. He usually seemed really busy, but more like preoccupied.
Preoccupied? Like he was thinking about something else? Something that wasn't this tourist attraction?
Who can say? What do old men think about?
What? Are you implying that I know the answer to that?
This.
Yeah, I have a pretty good view of him from here. Anyone supporting animal rights is okay in my book. His protests used to have a bit more energy, though. He spends more time inside his tent these days.
What's he doing it there?
I'm happy to say, I don't know.
There might be something I can ask Echo about.
He spends more time holding. Echo spends less time holding the protest and more time in his tent.
Echo spends less time holding the protest sign and more time in his tent. I wonder if Echo can tell me what he's been doing that's more important than his protest.
Present clues.
These hats look pretty stupid. Luckily, kids seem to like stupid stuff.
You sell a lot of them?
Yeah, they're pretty popular.
Curtain.
Where are you keeping all this stuff?
What about this?
Is that one of your clues?
This photo?
I have no idea.
What this?
Where are you
What this?
Is that one of your clues?
This?
That is not something from my gift shop. I've never seen it before.
Okay. I've asked her everything. I don't have that yet. I think I've already asked him about everything. Yeah.
It's here a lot. I think he's been putting less effort into his protests recently, which is a shame. I think it's an admirable cause.
Do you talk to him much?
Not really. Sometimes he likes to talk, just casual conversation. He asks how business is going and what everyone likes to eat, nothing of real importance.
Treehouse. Let's go to the treehouse for a second.
I'm not even sure who that is.
Never seen him.
You've been here so long, you must have crossed paths with Remington a few times. What did you think of him?
That man was a threat to the swamp. We'll be better off without him. Hopefully the curtain will fall on his little tourist attraction as well.
Better off? With a killer on the loose now?
There have been murderers loose in the swamp before.
What are you talking about?
In my time here, I've seen the swamp invaded by men. By hunters. Several times. They're relentless.
What were they hunting? Wait, what about Boggy? Is that why no one has seen him in 60 years?
They always fell short of their ultimate goal. That just meant they came back again and again, doing more harm each time.
But this area is protected by law, right?
It is now, but some men have no respect for laws, of any kind. They tried to get me to leave my home. I stood my ground.
Obviously. But this whole area is a tourist attraction now. I doubt Remington would have allowed anyone to march into Boggy's Bog with a gun and start hunting down his main attraction.
So,
He drew me into his journal. I was 20 years old. That's the end of the story.
I bet it's not. Does this explorer have a name?
Yes?
Are you going to tell me?
No.
no.
You can put that away. I can't help you with it.
There's liquid on this.
Let's see. First
Yes,
thing we
yes.
do, and
It's the same color it's always
now
been.
we just have to... Got it! Now I know what that... I'll write it down in my... What's going on? That was definitely the same as the other tests. There's something about that green slime.
Fire poker found the scene and the black leggings covered the same swamp slime.
The fireplace poker found at the crime scene and the black leggings are covered in the same swamp slime. Sally's leggings. They link her with the crime scene. I'll have to ask her about it.
For the hunting photo.
I recognize some of those men. Unfortunately. They've hunted in the swamp before.
Before it became a protected area?
Before that, yes. And one of them after that.
Yep. Okay. I need to go back to Sally.
The black leggings you found in your bag this morning. They're covered in the same slime that was on the murder weapon.
Everything in this swamp is covered in slime. What's your angle, Grimoire?
I prove you were wearing them during the murder. Your black leggings were part of the murderer's costume.
Your black leggings were part of the murderer's costume.
Costume? Is that why someone took them out of my bag last night?
Well, you know, I don't have proof someone else took them.
If I had been wearing them when I committed a crime, do you think I would hand them over to a detective the second he shows up? Besides, look at them. What do you notice?
They're loose and stretched.
They're loose and stretched.
That's right, someone else. Someone larger than me has worn these. They're stretched out, especially at the waist. It's pretty obvious.
So, let's see. Somebody stole them to use in their boggy costume, and then put them back in your bag when they were done?
If you say so. It's not my job to know all the details. It's my job to sell souvenirs. Do you want a souvenir?
Oh, my, yes, but only if you choose one for me.
You look like you could use something to wind up. You can take this one.
Ooh. Challenge completed. Small plastic toy sold at the gift shop has a cartoony appearance of Buggy. Buggy's feet are hidden in a bucket of water.
I always thought it was weird that his feet are in that little bucket all the time.
It's just part of the character, I guess. I'm surprised they don't sell some sort of boggy foot soaker.
And that would be the one product I'd consider buying.
Okay. Oh, the little girl.
Aha! The great detective returns. Did you run out of ideas? Need a little push in the right direction?
Didn't know if I was ignoring you. No need to push me, but the direction. You're the one who needs a little push.
You're the one who needs a little push.
Like it or not, I'm here to help you.
I get it. You give me a map, then you magically disappear and hide behind a tree for an hour. You want me to be impressed?
Did you talk to all the suspects yet?
I'm working on it. You can't rush these things, you know.
Have you noticed anything unusual?
I notice that this is going to take longer than I originally planned, and I'm getting the feeling that I wasn't wrong about this tourist attraction.
What do you mean?
I had a hard time believing there could be a place like this here in a dark corner of a swamp. It didn't make sense, and it still doesn't.
Some things don't make sense straight away. You need to look a little closer.
At what? The mud? The water? The trees?
Nope. They've been here for years, and they're not to blame. They belong here.
She's gone again. Hiding in a bush, no doubt. I wonder if she'll ever tell me something I can actually understand.
I'll go back to the museum and talk to this guy.
So,
What can you tell me about your relationship with Richard Remington?
we didn't really have one, and now we definitely don't have one. But look, all I can say is that he was a coward who enjoyed watering down history for his own benefit.
What does that mean?
It means there are some chapters of this swamp's history that he never wanted anyone to know about.
Did he like you sniffing around this museum all the time?
I don't think he knew, to be honest. And even if he did, there's nothing he could have done about it. He has no right to this building. He knows that. We both know that.
Why not? It was part of his tourist attraction, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
If I cared about that person, I would know everything I need to know.
What about Harper?
Next time, only show me something if it's
What about Echo?
Oh, yes, I know him. He occasionally asks me about the history and biology of the swamp creature. I explained to him what the real Boggy looks like and how they changed his appearance for the cartoon character.
Why did he ask about that?
Because some people are naturally curious. You should give it a try sometime.
What about Sally?
This person is of no interest to me whatsoever.
What about this window toy?
A good example of how Boggy's feet are never shown in any form. They often use that little red bucket to hide them.
What about this rifle?
I've never seen that before.
What about this photo?
So, you found it. I wonder who else knows about it.
What about this fork?
I have no interest in something like that.
What about... Oh. So I need to talk to someone else to unlock his... clearing. Let's see, what haven't I talked to these guys about? This wind-up toy.
What is it? Some evidence from last night's murder?
These leggings.
That's...
I'm missing something here. What about Echo?
You should ask
You don't know
someone
Echo?
else.
What about you?
I simply don't have time to help.
What about this?
I don't really have time to be looking at items
Okay.
from your...
Let's talk to her again. What do you think about this wind-up toy?
You can put that away.
Okay. Oh. Buggy was 60 years ago. Explorer. Buggy was referred to in explorers. This is not an official site for 60 years. Buggy has 3 small claws on it. This is the same footprints remain successfully hunted in the past. Buggy has unsuccessfully hunted in the past. Has since become a famous cartoon tunes. His appearance changed from the original designs.
Not suspicious. Not suspicious. Not suspicious. Not suspicious. Suspicious. Not suspicious. Suspicious. Not suspicious.
What is this?
Suspicious.
Except... Okay. Clearing office, protest, crosswood, gift shop, entrance. What do I need to do now? Salt. Oh, I've unlocked it. I gotta go to him then.
show it to somebody.
I heard you've been spending less time protesting recently and more time, in your tent. Normally I wouldn't pry, but it's my job to ask.
Untouched people have even noticed something like that. I usually get the impression everyone else is doing their best to ignore me.
So, you admit it's true?
You can put your notebook away. There isn't really any reason for it. Nothing worth writing down, at least.
Well, if it's not worth writing down, maybe it's worth hearing.
In that case, you'd forget it.
How do you know? Maybe it would echo in my mind.
Look, if you take a guess and get it right, I promise not to deny it.
Let's work out why Echo was hidden away in his tent. Notebook time.
I have a silly nickname. Ghosts. Because of ghosts. Because it's raining. Because Boggy.
You've been in your tent, hiding from Boggy.
Why not?
Okay.
And more. No. Ask.
I usually.
So,
Okay.
how do you. Notebook
You've
time.
been in because it's raining.
You've been in your tent because it's been raining.
Why not?
What else can I say?
And normal.
I usually.
So. Notebook time.
It's ghosts.
You've been hiding in your tent because the swamp is haunted.
Why not?
What's the answer then?
And normally I wouldn't ask.
I usually.
So. Well. How do you. Notebook.
I'm hiding because tax.
You've been hiding in your tent from the tax man.
Why not?
Okay. I think I'm done talking to him. Maybe we're to speak with the suspects again.
Oh?
Hunting. It would. An old. This is.
I need to find the thing he lost.
This staircase is and this place is. The water's clear here. I can see my reflection in. What's this? Looks like the stuff in the water has been moved around recently. Maybe if I reposition. I recognize that footprint. It's the same as the one found at the crime scene. The water's clear. I can not bad. This stair and this.
Let's just click on some stuff.
It feels like I've. It feels like I've stepped into. They aren't many, but I don't. They aren't many, but I don't. I'm not going. I'm not going.
And the girl again.
You again. Ready with some cryptic advice, no doubt?
Don't let them take him.
Ooh, the murderer? That's my job. I gotta make sure that they.
No, the creature. Don't take him away. This place is his home.
Oh, Boggy. Hey, don't worry. I didn't really believe he could be responsible for this mess.
You didn't?
Well, no.
And because I didn't believe he existed. I don't believe he could hurt. I've always known who the murderer is. And it is not Buggy.
Mainly because I didn't believe he existed at all.
So, he won't get in trouble? You won't have to leave?
Well, he's been out here for what, 60 years, hasn't he? And stayed out of trouble for that long. I have a feeling some detective isn't going to change all that in one day.
Well, in that case, he says... Thank you.
There's a hollow pump.
Does he?
Apparently, it's a fork in the road. These flower petals seem a little out of place lying on the ground over there. These flower petals... Looks like I can't wait. I'm impressed someone managed to pitch a tent here. And I'm impressed someone would want to. It's a colorful, boggy-themed padlock. He's staring into my soul. It should open if I set the right number.
I think it should be...
I'm impressed and I... It's a color piece. It's a...
Okay.
Ah!
I don't like it. What's this? There's a lockpick dropped amongst the weeds down here in the water. I just have to work out which vine to break and tap that button.
Okay. Mr. Leaf. On the other side. Goes to 3.
That's the one, but I wonder where this lockpick came from.
Okay, the lockpick discarded near the entrance of the room was always covered in strange liquid and slime. It's mostly used to the murderer bring in rooms. Fuller said there was this list lockpick, but he lost it a while ago. I had to buy a new one. Okay, so let's go to Prius. And we'll...
There's a book. How fast?
There's a clue.
Let's see. First, then tap the phone.
What a surprise, it's green.
And now... Got it! Now I know what that... I'll write it down in my... The swamp slime. It's all the same. It's the exact same liquid again. I need to pick my questions carefully.
Lockpick. I found here. Entertained body as might belong to Agent Folder.
The lockpick I found near Remington's body might belong to Agent Folder. As far as I know, Agent Folder is experienced with lockpicks. I wonder if he's hiding something.
So,
I have a bone to pick with you.
are you setting yourself up for a joke? Something about a lockpick?
Maybe. Who knows? Stop distracting me. I'm trying to interrogate you.
My apologies, go ahead.
So, what are we showing Folder now?
The lockpick.
Where did I find this again?
What's this?
I found a lockpick at the scene of the crime.
Oh, apparently you did. Why does this concern me?
You were the scene of the crime yesterday, you might know. You're already admitted to owning the lockpick and using it to open locked doors.
You already admitted to owning one of these, and how you're ever so happy to come and go as you please with it, am I right? Be honest.
Luckily for me, Detective, I was honest with you. I believe I have already explained that second lockpick. Before you even found it.
Let the lockpick by the rancher's office. You lost your lockpick in the swamp and had to buy a new one.
You lost your lockpick in the swamp and had to buy a new one.
That's right. I appreciate you finding it for me. However, I won't ask for it back. Apparently, it has since become some diabolical instrument in the art of murder.
Yeah, it's an important piece of evidence.
Something you found on the floor? Come back when I'm not so busy, alright?
Okay. Back.
I think it's time I went to talk to Officer James.
Okay. Thanks everybody for watching. That was chapter 3. See you in the next video. Bye.
You've been hiding in your tent from the taxman!